I'll make the side port before I glue the back on. It'll be easier to put binding around it if I can reach in. So that's what I'm doing now. I've got an 1.25" Forstner bit, and I will very carefully drill. I'm about 2 inches away from the heel, maybe 3. Yeah, 2.5 inches from the heel. And as I said, the port itself will be an 1.25". I know there are people who put the port here so that supposedly the sound goes closer or more directly to the player, but in the guitars that I've built with ports, I find I get a more noticeable change in the sound when it's here than when it's here. So that's where I'm putting it. Okay. There's the port. I'm going to put some binding around this port just to give it a finished look and try to match it to the rest of the aesthetics of the guitar. So I've got some strips of veneer that I've cut. Here's a piece of maple that came to me as a veneer, and then this is a piece of rosewood that I just thinned down to veneer dimensions. I think it's about 35 thousandths of an inch thick. So I will bend these into a circle the same diameter as the hole and glue them on one at a time. I cut an 1.25" hole into a just scrap piece of wood, and I've had this little section of maple veneer soaking for a while. It kind of gets pretty flexible. It doesn't entirely conform on its own, but I can get it roughly into position, and obviously it's not bending real well there. But then I take this soldering gun as a heat source and run it around the edges of the veneer and press it firmly into the circle that I drilled. So now once this dries, I can take it over to the guitar body and trim it to exactly the length I need it to be and get it glued in place. And I won't have any gaps anywhere. Once that one dries, I'll do the same thing with the rosewood.